So I actually just signed a lease for my new warehouse this week, and it's very exciting, but also pretty stressful. I feel like I like making these type of videos for some of you guys because you get a little bit of insight to the stresses of the business, but also just kind of the logistics and how it works. Basically, I realized that moving is going to be a whole lot more expensive than I thought because of a couple things. It is just kind of like a house, so you have first last month's rent and you have a security deposit, but you also have some other fees along with that because it's like commercial, so you end up paying the property taxes as the tenant as well. So it gets very expensive. The other thing I didn't really account for is I need like an electric push forklift to unload the trucks when I receive them. That is very not cheap. It gets very hefty, especially from a cash flow perspective where you have to pay for a lot of things up front, like these. So the last 2 orders that I placed, you have to pay for them up front about like basically 3 months in advance. So you have to have that money before you can even sell the product. And I also had to have money to move for the warehouse before I even got the product to sell it also. So it's very complicated. It's a little bit stressful because the reality is to pay off the last order that's supposed to come in December, it is 2 times the current amount of money that is in my bank account. So that's a little frightening, but luckily I have another month and a half or so to pay for it. But if you're wondering how like the life of a first year business owner works, that's pretty much it. Usually you have bills that exceed your bank account at all times. But yeah, thankfully I do other things for work, so I can actually like pay to live and stuff like that. So I don't need to pay myself any money from this brand. It just all goes back into it. It's pretty much the only way I'm able to make this happen without a bunch of debt, to be honest. But yeah, I'm really excited to show you guys the new warehouse. Honestly, it's very big and we can grow into it, which is super awesome. And even that size of warehouse isn't really possible if I had to pay myself a bunch of money either. So it's really cool. We're just reinvesting, trying to get as big as we can, so that way we can do the real good stuff, which is like, partnering with some homeless doggy shelters, some children's hospitals, and some cool stuff like that. I really want to be able to do that, and hopefully the next year if I can. But yeah, the next year and so on. Really excited.